Hello again. Okay, this video I want to talk about stashes. Is this a stash? No, not that sort of stash. I'm talking about modeling stashes. Okay, if you're new to this hobby, you will hear and see all the time, especially on Facebook, on the forums and so forth, you'll hear people talk about, oh, I got another one for the stash, or oh, the stash is getting too big, and hear all these worries and concerns that people have that, you know, they've got too many models. I'm one of them. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about is how to manage that and how to manage your expectations. This is directed to anyone coming into the hobby, anyone who's in the hobby and, you know, might be a bit stuck and might want some ideas on how to, you know, how to get the best enjoyment out of it. So, to start with, let's talk about what's a stash. What's a stash? Well, beyond having the model that's on your workbench over there, like mine over there that I'm looking at, what have I got over there? Oh, the mystery bird from my F22 build. It's a sister. Yes, it has an evil twin sister. Okay, beyond that model, you're going to have other ones that are sitting in the cabinet, aren't you? Now, I've heard people say they've got anywhere between 5, and I think they're lying, 30, 40 seems to be a number of what people have over time, but I've also seen hundreds, 200s number come up, thousands come up for the more insane of you out there, but you know, good on you for doing that. We've all got our reasons, and none of them are wrong. Okay, it's one of those things. I do agree. It's your money, your time, your love of your passion. Go for it. Get as many as you want. But it can be a problem in terms of output, of throughput, of, you know, building your models. So we get bombarded all the time. If you're new to the hobby or coming back to it, of all these brand new things coming out. That, you know, it just seems like every week you see a new release from Tamiya or Hasegawa or you know, or these new companies that have come out recently, like Meng and Takom and all these other ones. Okay, so there's so much to choose from. There's so many models that you can get, but you've only got a limited amount of time to build them. There's a couple of reasons why we accumulate kits beyond the, oh, I've got to have it. You know, there it is, new, shiny. Ooh, need it, and that's bargain buying. I'm 100% guilty of this. I love finding a bargain. It just makes me, you know, it's great, fantastic, and I can use all sort of justifications to say, oh, I've got to have that kit because it's cheap. All right, so, you know, that's one reason, and you accumulate all these bargains over time. There's a bit of a hazard to that. My cat wants to get in. Go away, cat. The next reason is collecting. Now, this is a completely valid reason. You want to collect model kits. Now, from a point of view of someone, for example, a manufacturer like Wingnut Wings, unfortunately, a lot of people who buy Wingnut Wings tend to just collect them and sit on them. And I've seen photos of people with 10 Felix stoves. You know what a Felix stove is? I'll put a picture up here. You know, massive thing. You're only ever going to build one in your life, maybe 2 if you're lucky. And they've got 10. You know, they're collecting them. Fine, but you know, it really gets up my goat, because it means all the other guys out there who just want the one, they might miss out on it, because Wingnut Wings are notorious for doing a short run, you know, pumping out one particular subject and then moving on to the next one, and that keeps their prices up. I've done that myself. I think I've got 7 or 8 Wingnut Wings kits. I only really want to build 3, 4 of them. Okay, the other ones I bought because I know that they're out of production, they're collectible. I'll sit on them, and that gets to the next category, which is investing in model kits, which again, it's a bit of a strange one, but you know, people will buy a kit that they have no intention of building it, and they're not intending to just collect it, but they're intending to make money on it in the future by going, oh, I'm going to buy this now. I can buy that for $100, and in 2 years' time it'll be worth $300. Now the kids are making noise. Can't do anything here, Annie. Again, you know, to each his own. Do that sort of stuff. I've made a profit, I think, once or twice on a kit because it was an absolute bargain, and you know, I put it on eBay and it just went nuts, and I went, okay, fine, you can have that, I don't want it. But apart from that, you know, investing in model kits, there's other things you can invest in. Why we build them up, we just have, there's just so much choice. We love the hobby so much, there's so many things we can get, and just, you know, over time you accumulate all these kits and your cupboards start to burst. So what I want to talk about next is how can we manage that? How can you manage that better, get the maximum enjoyment out of your hobby, while still being able to sit back and have a nice cup of coffee and look at your beautiful stash. So just give me a minute, I'll finish this and let the cat in. My first tip on how you can reduce your stash without any pain with seeing these kits going is, can you go online tomorrow or go down to your local hobby store and find that kit that you've got? You know, it could be a Tamiya armor kit, they seem to be ubiquitous, they're everywhere, or an Airfix aircraft kit or something like that. Can you go and get it tomorrow? Is it readily available? Is it cheaply available for about the same price, 10%, whatever, that you paid for it? Now, if it is, why have you got it in your cabinet? Are you a hobby store? No, get rid of it. Because there's no point. There's no point of just having this stuff just sitting there that you can tomorrow go out and get. Okay? So what you could do with that is convert that money, and this is the second point that I'm trying to make about stash reduction, is convert that into some better equipment. How many of you out there have got, even if you only got 10 or 20 or 30 kits, but let's say they're and above, but are still working with a cheap dodgy old airbrush, or a compressor that is on its last legs, or you don't want to spend any money on the latest paints because they're too expensive, they're $4 a bottle. Ooh. But you've got $400, $500 worth of kits sitting there in the stash collecting dust. So that's a false economy. Get rid of that stuff, upgrade your equipment, get some better lighting, that sort of thing, and you'll get much more enjoyment out of the hobby. So just do that straight away. That's what I've done pretty much. But kept an eye on those kits that I've got that I'm like, they're either out of production, so you don't get rid of those, or they're just so rare. They rarely come up, and when they do, they cost an arm and 3 legs. So fine, keep those. The next way to do it is have a wish list. Okay, so to stop that bargain buying, you see a bargain, you go, oh, I'm going to buy that. I recently did that with a Italeri kit that came out, it was really cheap. I should have stopped when I said Italeri. Okay, is have a wish list, have a proper list to say, okay, this is what I really want to get. And it might be stuff that's already out there, or stuff that's about to come out, like I'm really looking forward to the new AMK F14, or the tan model SR71, which isn't probably going to come out for 2 years, but it's on my list. So if you look at the list and you say, well, it's going to cost X amount of dollars, why am I buying, bargains along the way? And that's going to, it's going to bite into your budget. So wish list really, really helps. The next one is converting, standard kits to aftermarket for your better kits. So if you've got, quite a few kits there that box, out of the box, there's nothing done to them, and you've got a few kits there, oh, I really would like to get a resin this, or some different decals or whatever, but it's going to cost, and let's be honest, a lot of this aftermarket stuff costs as much as the kit itself. The kit's usually the cheapest bit. So what you do is just convert, okay? Convert and concentrate on the ones that you really want to do and get that aftermarket for it, okay? Yes, Kate? Okay. Alright, you give it to me now. Now, 2 last things I just want to add. The first thing is excuses. One of the bad things about having a big stash is you'll come up with excuses. You'll look at it and go, oh, what am I going to build next? And you look at the really good stuff, the top shelf, and you go, oh, I'd really love to make that 132 Tamiya Spitfire. And you think, oh no, I'm not ready for that. No, I won't do that. I'll do something a bit smaller, a bit easier to build. I'll go for that one. Oh no, I won't do that because I've got another one planned. And you start to link these excuses and you get stalled and you have this paradoxical thing of too many kits to build. It's crazy, but it's true. I mean, I had a chat once with someone else who's got a very small stash, and they said, yeah, it's great for them because they're like, well, I've only got a few kits to choose from. So when I finish building one, well, I've only got a few. I'll go grab one off the shelf, bang, I'm into it. Whereas if you've got quite a lot, you scratch your head for a day and a half. So excuses are a hindrance to your throughput, to actually getting stuff done and getting some real enjoyment out of it. But on the flip side of that is planning too much. And I've heard of a couple of stories, and it's quite sad, where someone's bought an estate, someone's passed away and they've got a couple hundred kits, and in each one there's a plan. Someone's written out a list of, this is what I want to do with this kit. It's really sad. I mean, they've sad in one way, it's good in the other hand, because they've got ideas and dreams and hopes of what they want to do with it, but they've mapped out the entire thing. Now, I'm guilty of this. I have done that with a lot of my kits, okay, almost all of them, but I haven't written out a plan. I've just got ideas floating around for a lot of them. But don't let that be a hindrance either. Just be flexible. Be like, it's a model. It's just plastic. At the end of the day, it's just plastic, and don't let that get in the way of you actually building stuff, because that's what we want to do. We want to get over there, get started, Don't worry if you're going to stuff up an expensive kit or what have you. Just get into it and really, really enjoy it. Just got to rescue my kids from jumping off the roof, and I'll come back. My last tip for you is this. Have a ready-to-go pile. Have a stash, a mini stash, okay, a little stash of kits that you're ready to go, ready to build. They've got everything's lined up, all the ducks are lined up in a row. You've got all the aftermarket stuff sorted. You know what you're going to build. You've done all the planning. Have that ready to go, because that's how you can consume your stash, okay? And I'll show you in a minute mine, and if you want, I'll show you a bit more of my stash and show you my ideas. Here's my workbench, which is right next to my ready-to-go shelf. This is an old bookshelf, okay? I've just got next to my workbench, and basically, apart from, you know, a few little accessories and my long-term projects and all those boxes there, up there, and that big one over there, of course, is my 116 Tiger, which I got to finish one day, and that's my two 132s. Yeah, so the point of this is I've got a ready-to-go stash, and that's actually down in here. Okay, here's a quick sneak peek, and if you want, I'll pull them out. I'll have a closer look at them. But I keep them right next to my my bench, and that's what I consider my actual stash.